goblins. Welcome to Scotty's Chamber of Horrors. Today we're going to work more on the Doomskull. So let's hit the table and start working on that artifact of terror. Here's my altar all cut out, and I'm going to peel the paper off. This is just that cheap dollar store foam core, and the paper just comes right off. That's what I really love about this stuff, and so it just makes it so easy to work with as far as embedding into the material. So here's the altar I have for the skull and the two pillar stands I have. I'm going to mark those on the altar itself so I know where they will wind up when I finish this thing, because I need to do the design here. I'm going to use this tracing tool, and I'm kind of figuring out how big of circles I need to put on for these spheres that I want to put on here. And these are kind of like the spheres of creation is what I was going for. I was definitely inspired by the Dark Crystal by Agra's little machine there. So I'm going to trace those circles, and they definitely will fit in there nicely. So I'm just going to do some more designs, draw these freehand, kind of like these spheres are connected in this diagram here. Yeah, I'm trying to go for like a heavenly kind of godlike cosmetology type kind of thing here. So that's where I'm going with this these designs. And I'm just doing a lot of this freehand, as you can see. Just doing some, filling this out. I want to make it, you know, the big area, you really want to have enough interest in it. You don't want to have it just plain. You want to have enough interest going on. And it's really critical, and especially in bigger areas. So there, I'm just putting some lines on here, out from the center, radiating out from the center. Use a ruler for those. Now let's draw some other crossover lines. And like I say, I'm just trying to make this look kind of like a mystical thing that the gods would construct, or have their followers construct, actually. Wards and seals to keep this thing contained. And here I'm going to use my tracer again and just put some interesting bits, just some ends of squares on there, just to do some more interest. Like I say, there's a lot to fill out on this. I don't want to just have large blank areas of nothing. It's just kind of boring when you're doing something big like this. Okay, now just some spikes, inward spikes, like I did on the altar itself. Just instead of pointing outward, pointing inward. Kind of like dials of the cosmos kind of thing, I guess I'm going for. A few more lines, fill it out. This is a very organic thing, you know. I didn't come here with a specific design in mind. I'm just kind of winging it, is what I'm doing here. Now I'm going to do some interesting kind of ward lettering. Just making this up as I go. You can definitely get inspired by it online by looking at different kinds of magical lettering, and some smaller versions. So that's really filling out nicely. And I'll do an edge. I'm just going to do this, measure this by hand. I'm just going to do this by hand. And the more you kind of push into the foam core, the better, because you get that separation. You want the design to pop up when you paint it. Some more lettering. Really coming along nicely. All right, now I'm just going to use this wad of tin foil and just push into the foam core, and that'll give it some nice depressions and kind of stone-like texture. That's an easy way to do it for these large areas. There we go, nice. You can see that. Cool. Just simple, it's super easy. Now I'm going to use my hot glue gun and glue it to the large circular disc, the double cardboard on the bottom. That'll just firm it up on the bottom so this thing won't bend. And then I'm going to glue on these pillar stands and put the spheres of influence on here. I'm not going to glue the altar itself on because I want to be able to lift it up to turn the light on and that kind of thing. So I won't glue that on. Alright, nice. Now I'm going to use this half-inch cardstock and kind of pre-bend it a little bit. And this will hide the corrugation on the edge, right? So I won't have that corrugation showing. So let's hot glue that on. Hides that right up. Also, it'll strengthen it too. This is a nice strengthener. Then I'm just going to go all the way around. So I went all the way around with just the cardstock. And now I want to kind of make it so it looks a little more like stone. So I'm going to pop some hot glue on there and spread it out with the metal tip. And that will give it a nice kind of irregular texture. I'm going to use this little sculpting tool and just kind of push into the lines a little bit that I drew on here. And that'll make that stand out a bit more. You can also put some cracks and that kind of thing in if you want. So they're cool. Alright, now I want to seal this before I paint it because I like to spray paint. So I'm going to use the white glue and put it on here. So that way when I spray paint it, it won't melt the foam. Now, one thing when you do this, it may not cover everything if you don't give it 2 coats, and I didn't do that because I wanted to melt the foam a little bit in certain areas. Alright, now here's another thing I'm going to use for the project. I got these 2 candles at the dollar store, and these were just $1. And you just put batteries inside, and it lights that top. So that's perfect, and they're great little pillars. So I'm going to scuff this up with the sandpaper, and that'll make the paint adhere to it better, right? Since it's just that smooth plastic. So I'll scuff it up a bit. Nice. I'm going to take this little flame tip off too. Just pull it off. I can use that for another project. Now I've got a washer, and the washer is 1.5 inches wide. Okay, and this will give some weight to the bottom of the pillar. I like to do this. I'm going to use this wooden bit, and there's the bottom of the candle itself. And I'm going to use the glue. This glue is really nice. Glue it right to the washer. That gives it the weight, but the wood gives it the interest. And then I'll put the candle bottom on the bottom. I can just screw that right onto the candle. All right, cool. Now I want to add some detail to the candle. I'm going to use these picks that I got from the dollar store. And that'll be a really nice detail, I think. So just pop that on there. I'll put the rest on there. I'll put 4 on there. I have these little skull rings I got from the dollar store too. I thought this would be a nice little detail. Cut that edge off. Put some of the glue on. Pop it on that detail. So I'm just going to put 1 on. Use that piece of wood to stand it up while it dries. Here's another thing I got. I got these wings cheaply at the craft store. I thought it might be fun to put some on the skulls, since the idea is kind of like it's an angelic or divine altar. So I'm going to use a wire cutter. Just cut off that peg there or that loop there where you put it on a necklace. And I use my glue and just glue it right to the skull. Let that set up and then glue the other one on. Nice, looking really good. And I'm going to have gold features on the altar, so that'll really work. Okay, now I'm going to use a piece of masking tape because I want to paint this. And I'm just going to cover up the light because you don't want your LED light to get painted, right? Then you won't see the light. So we'll cover that up and put the 2 together, and then I'll paint that up. So what a great looking pillar and super cheap. All right, now I want to do one last thing. This is going to be in a desolate wasteland, and I made these piles of TP, and I'm going to make piles of sand that are on and around the altar. And so I'm just TP on cardboard, white glue. I'm going to glue the edges, hide those, and then I'm just going to put some extra white glue on the top here because these are going to be sand piles. Smear the white glue out, and then just pour some regular play sand over it because it's going to be a sandy environment. There we go. I'll see you next time.
Hi friends, I hope you enjoyed the vid. Isn't that right, Skeletor? If you did like the vid, make sure to give your Scotty a like. Also, check out my forum and Facebook group. We have a bunch of great people on there. And if you did like the vid, consider tipping Scotty in the little thing in the little corner of the video here. And if you would like to support the DM's Craft further, you can join Patreon and get my monthly magazine, The Crafter's Lair. Right, Skeletor? All right, I'll see you next time. Take care, friends.
Hey, Doomskull, you know why you can't go to the party? Because you got nobody to go with. Oh, I don't think you like that. Oh, get out of here. Oh.